Welcome back. If this is your first time visiting my channel, you may want to look at my last video entitled Introduction. That will give you a bit of an introduction to myself and my channel, what we're going to be doing on this channel, and the roadmap that I'll be following over the next year or more. So here we are, week one, and we're going to go over my initial investments this week, what I spent it on, and my reasons for choosing what I chose. These initial investments were made at the end of February, last few days in February, so we can take a look at those a bit later on in the video and see how they're doing. I was hoping to, in this episode, to have my camera up and running, just so this makes this a little bit more personal. But that just hasn't happened at the moment. I've got the camera, but the lighting isn't right. I just can't get that to where I want it to be at the moment, so I'm going to hold off a bit longer on that one. So my initial investments were Ethereum, $50. That came to about £35. Cardano was £100, and I bought 3 NFTs totaling £102.79. Right, I had researched these three prior to doing the last video, so I'd already either purchased these or was going to purchase them. So here's a brief explanation as to why I chose each one, starting with Ethereum. Well, Ethereum is a well-established coin. Currently, at the time of recording this video, is at $1,700 per coin. And there are a lot of highly anticipated upgrades for this currency coming in the near future. Ethereum is also one of the few coins that support smart contracts and is also the preferred currency of most of the popular NFT markets like Nifty Gateway, Rarible, etc. From what I've seen, there's a lot of talk about Ethereum 2, which is supposed to be coming soon. I'm not sure if it's released this year. But that is supposed to reduce the prices of the gas, which is a transaction fee for every transaction that's made on the blockchain, and is based on something called Gwei, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which is a percentage of Ether, so it varies day by day. The only negative points that I found, obviously there's going to be more, but with my limited amount of research, the main things that concern me are the volatile gas prices, but hopefully they should be doing something about that with the new update. And the development, from what I'm gathering, has been quite slow, about 4 years. So I'm not too sure when all these updates that are anticipated will actually come to fruition. My main reason for getting the Ethereum was for use to buy NFTs if anything came up that was in my price range, which, looking at it at the moment, isn't a lot on the Rarible or Nifty Gateway, as the stuff that seems to be coming on there is just coming on at highly inflated, crazy prices. And so I've got another avenue on my NFTs, but I've just bought some Ethereum so I can keep it in reserve. There's only £35 worth, $50, and I may or may not add to that in the future. Moving on to Cardano. Cardano is my favourite. This is a very long-term investment, although there are many updates planned for release this year, so we should see a lot of movement on the price of that one this year. Smart contracts are being introduced so they can compete directly with Ethereum. Some of the NFT market spaces could move over to Cardano once the smart contracts are released. It's poised to become the most decentralized crypto in the world. It's already 90% decentralized. They're hoping to be, from what I have read, 100% by the end of this year, I think. Again, much lower fees on their transaction fees. They do have a transaction fee. I'm not sure if there's a plan to remove that altogether. I don't know how that works. But it's a lot lower and it's a lot more stable than Ethereum. It's cheaper for miners as well. Ethereum and Bitcoin use tremendous amounts of power to mine the coins and to complete the transactions. Cardano is a lot more energy efficient. It's struggling to maintain support at the moment and break its all-time highs, but those hopefully will be broken pretty swiftly once any official announcements are made and they move over to the planned upgrades. The best rewards in Cardano are going to be seen with long-term investments. Short-term investments may give you small rewards, but I think the best returns are going to come from long-term investments in this, maybe 2-5 years down the line. So I'm kind of investing into this one for the long term. If in the meantime there is some significant growth, then I may take out my initial investment and just leave the rest in it, or dissolve some of it down into different currencies or coins. But I don't see that it will be significant enough in the short term. It's going to be long term. I'm definitely going to be investing some more over the next few months in Cardano. Like I say, it's my favourite one at the moment, so I think this is going to do good things in the future. Right, now the interesting one, the NFTs. NFT market is very new at the moment. Well, it's about 3 years old, I think, but it's only recently, kind of this year, really hit the news, which is exactly why I came into this in the first place. I saw these on there, not because of the gains, it just looked like a really interesting project. It adds fun element to your investing because it's a collection thing, collectibles. I was just interested at first. Now it's kind of like, it's kind of pulled me in. Not so much, I don't really want to spend a lot of money in it, but I'm quite interested to see where it goes and what comes out of it. There's a few little bits that I'd like to collect in the future. Vivi is the NFT that I've chosen to go for at the moment, the platform I've chosen to go for. That's because from looking through their portfolio and their white paper, they've just got some really interesting things going on. I think once they go mainstream, at the moment I think they're in beta phase, and they're not really heavily publicising it at the moment. There's a few videos on YouTube. They have got some really good intellectual properties on there. They've got the Batman, Harley Quinn, Ghostbusters, NFL. They've just got loads of the kind of mainstream ones, and they're actually fully licensed. And so, obviously there's going to be a lot more going to them in the future. And their project is it's so good. It's not just a marketplace where you're going to pick up pictures that someone's drawn. It's actual 3D models. You can move them around. You can augmented reality them into your own pictures. You get a free gallery included that you can display them all in, and anybody else can walk into your gallery, have a view around it. It's just such a good looking project. I think it's going to go really far when it's fully up and running and publicised. The other reason I chose Vivi as my NFT project is that because they're still quite new and they're not highly publicised yet, there's still opportunities to get in there and buy some NFTs at quite low. I mean, I paid about $14 for some, $50 or $45 for another. So they're still affordable to the smaller investors like myself, and probably most of you watching this. There are even some Series 1 IPs on there at the moment. I think my Ghostbusters was a Series 1, and I got a Harley Quinn, which I think was Series 1 as well. And Series 1 is always the most collectible of any brand. Vivi also has its own supporting blockchain and currency, which is Ecomi. I'll be looking into this more in the future, in the coming weeks, as that looks quite interesting as well. So obviously if the Vivi app takes off, then the currency is going to take off with it. So could be a good little investment. Unfortunately, as with anything within the crypto market, and especially the NFTs at the moment, especially with the big bubble that they're in, the future for this project is unknown. However, I don't think it's going to fail badly, because they must have paid a lot of money for the IP licenses for these, so they've got to be invested in it. It's still in beta phase at the moment, but they have got lots of upgrades planned, and I think they'll move out of beta fairly quickly. The other issue at the moment is that the NFTs are actually locked to their app currently. You can't take them out of their app and use them and take them to a different marketplace or anything at the moment. I think that's purely to do with licensing. So maybe that will change. Well, I think there's word that it is going to change with one of their future upgrades. When that will happen, I don't know, but I don't think it will take too long, because it will be a sticking point for some people. So, what am I looking into for next month? Ecomi, as I said earlier on, OMI, I am looking for maybe getting into some of the currency for that to go alongside the app, the NFT, sorry. I do think that's going to actually increase in value quite a lot, especially at the beginning when it first comes out. Engine is another one I'm looking at, and by the time you watch this video, I've already bought that actually. That's this month's. I've started that this month already, so I will go through that with you. But that's purely designed for gaming platforms. I think NFT as well, but mostly for gaming. And I think Ubisoft have signed up to that or expressed an interest anyway. So that could bring them a long way. AVAX is a decentralized assets exchange for smart contracts. This is just one that I've kind of like picked up from a few YouTubers. They've seen some gains through it and they're expressing a lot of interest in it. So I'm going to take a look at that one. I'm not sure if I'm going to invest in that one yet, maybe a bit later on. Theta is another one. A friend told me about that one, and that does look, I mean, there have been high gains in that already. The Theta T-gas, which is the gas currency for that, for the fees, has had a 775% increase. So that's another one that I'm going to be seriously looking at. NFTs, I'm not sure on NFTs. I've got the 3 at the moment. If a new series comes out on VV that is within the range I want to pay and it's something that I like, then I might buy 1 or 2 more, but I'm not going to stack up on NFTs and not on my list there, but I'm definitely going to buy some more Cardano because I just really believe in Cardano. And there's so much hype surrounding it that it'd just be crazy to ignore it completely. I'm not going to go all in on it, but I do want to have it as a large part of my portfolio. Let's just see how it goes. Now, as promised, there's a little look at where my investments stand at the moment. I don't think there's not much movement on any of them. Obviously, it's only been a couple of weeks. And as I say, these are all long-term investments. So I'm not expecting or even worried whether they go up or down over the next few months. But I will show you guys the whole process, good or bad, so that you can, one, be entertained by me losing my money. And also, if you're interested in doing the same sort of thing yourself, you can see where I go wrong. So, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll join me for my next video.